Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Backfire Simsport TV. Welcome to rounds 9 and 10 of the Hexeal Alt+F4 Championship, coming to you live from the Nurburgring, and tonight we are using the Sprintstrecke layout. In the booth with me tonight, it is the one and only man with more internet problems than anybody else that I know. It is Sam Boozin. Good evening.
Good evening, everybody.
And that means your cameraman for tonight is Mr. Pete Bingham. Good evening.
Good evening. I've already made one mistake. I've spelt Sam's name wrong on the commentary, so that's the first of many obvious mistakes. I'll let everybody else pick the rest up in their own good time.
No, we'll just call him San for the rest of the evening.
That's why I'm better.
Yeah.
To be fair, I spelled Stacy's last name wrong for 2 years. So
this is
yeah.
true,
Well, there you go. For those of you that don't know, I'm Clyde Whiting, or Clyde of Whiting, as I am on the commentary box on your screen. Right, guys. So we have got a small grid, like we usually do for this series. But on the plus side, let's take some silver linings from this, San. Hopefully it means Pete will almost be able to keep up with the action.
Without even having to put the blimp camera.
So I've never watched a race, never participated a race in this Sprintstrecke layout, but it's not too different, is it, Sam, to the GP layout? It just uses the shorter hairpin.
It is. It's basically the GP layout with the VLN, previously called VLN shortcut to remove basically one of the best part of the track, which is a shame, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure there is a best part of this track, but that's just my personal opinion.
The best one is not used today, and it's the Nordschleife. But we can all agree to disagree.
That's not even a racetrack. So 11 turns, 2.254 miles. Championship so far. Now we'll make this call right now. We was hoping that this series was going to grow, so this is going to be the final 2 rounds of this championship. We're going to cut it short, and I'm sure at some point we'll have a chat and see what we're going to do instead. But at the moment, Jamie Wilson leads the championship on 727, with Gary Craig in second on 632 and Jason Morris in third on 571. In the team championship, BSTV Esports Green lead the way, 1187. BSTV Esports Pink in second with 997, and Team Chimera in third with 727. Driver of the meeting currently led by Jamie Wilson on 3 votes, and then a tie for second, Jason Morris, Tyler Newitt and Carter Hutchison all on 2. Last time out we raced at Interlagos. Tyler Newitt took away the win in race 1, and Wobbly Kneecaps took away the win in race 2. So, Sam, usual format, 2 30-minute races, reverse grid for race 2, and pretty much everywhere we've seen these cars race, it's been nose-to-tail action.
It's been very interesting, even with very low participation. We see the draft low participation also, that means people also keep glued together, and that provides great racing. So we'll see if turn ones brings out the usual turns 1 at the Nurburgring issues, but that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, it's to be honest, we've not seen that many big crashes in this, considering the guys have been so close together, and it's sort of surprising that the championship didn't catch on, because the racing has been absolutely fantastic. But it is what it is. I'm sure the guys out on track tonight are going to provide some fantastic action. I'm also pretty sure that Pete will miss all of it, and we'll probably get some shots of trees and things like that, or
Guaranteed, guaranteed.
Be on a constant replay loop or something like that. But I'm looking forward to this because you know, this has been we've described it as the ultimate arrive and drive series. It doesn't take a lot of practice. There's not a great deal that you can do with the setup in these cars, and as Sam said, the draft is so massive on these cars. You know, you can afford to lose a little bit of time through the corners and make it up on the straights. So where's the action going to be round here, Sam? You know, the arena section, I think a lot of people describe that as fairly boring and uninteresting. Turn one, as you said, that can be quite tricky, can't it? And I don't know, maybe the start finish straight, people getting in the toe, pulling out, and then trying something into turn one.
Probably all of that, and also the chicane at the end. After that massive straight with a turn, with the draft we know of this car, that's going to be an interesting breaking point. And I think where Jamie is heading right now, we might see some brave moves on the inside. That's quite usually a dive bomb move, but might work.
Yeah, whoa. Just as we see, I think that was Wobbly having an issue. Oh, who's this? This is Wobbly, yeah. Just trying to work out. Okay, Pete's got the track back up. I'm interested. As Sam said, there is this long back straight with a kink in it. I'm guessing, are these cars going to go? These cars are going to go flat out round here, aren't they? Yes. There's definitely no lift there, and you know, you can, as Sam said, you can throw one down the inside into this chicane. Or you can be in somebody's draft and outbrake yourself and disappear off into the kitty litter there. There shouldn't be any pit stops unless these cars get some damage that's going to slow them down. That'll be the only time that you see somebody taking a pit stop. It is just pure racing from lights to flag. Now, interestingly, Jamie Wilson currently sits top of the pile on provisional pole. Wobbly Kneecap second, Stefan Goebel in third. Times as expected. There's half a second between the top four, 0.7 of a second, top five. So I think they are definitely going to be very, very close. Sam, as we just see Tyler pop himself onto pole position. Do you think these guys, it's going to be as per usual, and because there's no fuel saving, there's not going to be any holding back? If they get a run, they're going to take it?
Yeah, I would expect so. Pedal to the metal all the way from start to finish. It's the way to go with these races, with these cars, and it's what they've done since the start of the series, so not expecting anything different.
Yeah, I sort of asked that in hope that maybe you was going to tell me something that I'd missed, but obviously not. Evening to Ant Woodward on the chat. So, yeah, Tyler Newitt pops himself into pole at the moment, just pipped by Wobbly Kneecaps, who now sits on provisional pole by 4/1000th of a second. I really hope Tyler can see that, because that is really going to annoy him. So what are they doing? 1 minute 26s. So that's a fairly good lick that they're getting on. There's a lot of this track in this car is going to be flat out. Wobbly on the in-game chat is currently wetting himself about something. I may have to go back and have a look and find out what all that was about.
Nothing on the event tracker for it, whatever it was.
No, I think it's something to do with, I don't know.
His alcohol intake, maybe?
No, I think it was all about getting behind Gary Craig and using his toe. So Wobbly looking at that toe, looking to use it to cement his provisional pole position. They've currently got just over 4 minutes left in this qualifying session. Mike Frost unable to race tonight. He thinks his VR headset has packed up.
That's a shame, because he seemed quite keen to join this one.
Yeah, and to be fair, he's not done too bad either, has he? And as we've seen, you know, anybody can win. It's just one of those cars and championships. Wobbly just had a wobble. Nobody really going any quicker at the moment. Tyler Newitt has just popped into provisional pole, first driver in the 125s with a .94. I don't think Wobbly's going to get anywhere near that on this lap because I've already seen him make one mistake. Got yellow sectors so far, which backs that up. Oh, he's very, very wide there, whoever that was. That is Wobbly. Maybe Wilson pops green in the second sector. He's currently sitting in third. Only a tenth and a bit behind Wobbly. Didn't hook up that last sector there, Jamie. What have we got left now? 2 and a bit minutes, so a couple of laps left. Not that I think pole position is going to be all that important when it comes to the race win, Sam.
I don't think so. It might be for turn 1, but not for the race
one. I tend to think round this track, pole position just makes you a target for turn 1.
That's also true, yeah. I did think about it while saying it, but that's true. It seems like a lot of people struggle to get out of the arena on the right, and we've seen already a lot of people turning around that spot. It's gonna be interesting as well. Just where Alan is sitting right now. That's pretty interesting, Pete.
No, that was the most boring replay ever known to the human race. Never trust SDK. That's what that says to me.
There's only 2 cars on track. Gary Craig is going to try and get out, but he's only going to manage an outlap, I think, unless he gets across the line. No, he's not going to get anywhere near it.
as we are in heat session, I don't think you can actually finish the lap your own. So
You're
that's
right.
something to bear in mind.
It just bins the session as soon as the session ticks over.
Which is a bit of a shame.
It is, yeah,
really.
because in real life you'd be allowed to finish your lap, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It's not really a shame because nobody's going quicker.
In fact, there you go.
There you go. Just before Jamie crossed the line. So, my screen went a bit psychedelic there. I think that was all down to Pete. Your starting grid for the first race of the evening, which is round 9. Tyler Newitt takes away pole position for BSTV Esports Pink. Teammate Wobbly Kneecaps is in second. Team Chimera's Jamie Wilson in third. Stefan Goebel in fourth. Gary Craig in fifth. Alexander Roggenbuck in sixth. Sir Alan Toon in seventh. And that's your lot because Mike Frost isn't in the session. So place your bets on where Pete is going to pan the camera to.
Yeah, even Pete doesn't know that at the minute. There's no good cameras. Tyler testing his steering.
He's usually pretty good at steering with the L and R on his gloves, as long as he puts them on the right hand. Lots of engine revving going on. Okay, inset picture is on board with Jamie Wilson. Lights are coming on.
Green.
And we're green. Looked like a fairly even start from the front 5. Already panning out, a little bit of 3 wide there. Looks like we are safely through turn 1. The first obstacle out of the way. Wobbly Kneecaps looks like he was the one to dip out on the start. He's dropped to 4th. Jamie Wilson up to 2nd. Stefan Goebel up to 3rd. Stefan looking very interested at Jamie's rear wing at the moment. As you can see there, all of the cars immediately diving into the slipstream. It's not a strip seam, because Stacey's not here. Four cars under that blanket. Harry Craig in 5th, slightly off the back of this pack. So who's going to be the first to make a move? Ooh, Stefan.
That's what happened when you switch camera only once since the start. You never miss anything.
Wobbly kneecapped back to third with a pass on Stefan Goebel.
I dare you to do exactly the same in a V8 race, Pete.
Yeah, no chance.
So that... we call it an issue with Stefan, which wasn't really an issue, but, you know, that created a gap between Jamie and Wobbly now, which is over a second. So we'll see if Wobbly can catch up or not. That's going to be interesting.
Wobbly might have some defending to do first, because Stefan wants that third position back. Gap's 1.3. So this is where we'll find out whether he can drag it back. Okay.
I think he was behind Alexander in the previous races. I've seen Alan in, which means he's probably getting along with quite nicely.
I knew it.
He was saying it felt very different.
Thailand are just watching the Tyler and Jamie battle. Tyler is trying everything to break the toe. Oh, and he's just made a mistake. And that's let Jamie Wilson through into the lead.
And the replay loops begin.
I think he just tried to go in too tight there.
Ooh, a little twitch.
Yeah, and a twitch, and that was enough. I think if nothing else, that has brought this pack back to drafting distance.
Yeah, I think Tyler is close enough to still have a good toe from Jamie. That means they will close the gap. Well, maybe. But that's gonna be a slowdown.
That's going to be a slowdown, yes.
See you next time, Tyler. Managed to defend the position quite well.
Yeah, he's still getting rid now, isn't he?
Yeah, and that's gonna potentially bring Gary back into the mix as well, which was like over a second behind everybody.
So Tyler's got to work his socks off now to get back to the front.
Yeah, I think Jamie is just clear of the gap. There's no curb cam, Pete. Sorry. Now it's a track we never raced, so I haven't done any camera on this. And
yeah, I was trying my luck, see if it had come through from one of the other Nurburgrings where you've put cameras on, but no.
Yeah, on a few other instances of the Nurburgring, you even have a pit lane out camera that show you all the grid and would have worked perfectly for the start. I tried it, didn't work, so that's why I said nothing.
Yeah.
I think Wobbly might just be in the draft.
Just about equals 3 tenths, yeah.
They were saying in practice that even at 1.3 seconds they weren't getting much draft. And that's kind of where he is. We'll see it now. We'll see the times chopped down if he's got draft, but I don't think he does. I think you have to be at 1 second.
1 second or 1 mistake. Although it is very rare to see Jamie Wilson make a mistake, but it has happened.
By having the interval and the gap shown at the same time on the timing screen also shows the point where SDK is completely on another planet, because the first one should be exactly the same all the time, and it's not. That's quite funny. Love it. Yeah, that's the shit we're working with, guys. I never understood why, but apparently so it is.
It's just fractions behind all the time, isn't it? It's weird.
Stefan, pretty close to wobbly now.
Yeah, he took that chicane really well, didn't he?
Well, it's a German track, so we all know.
We know,
German tracks. And it's the VLN layout of the Nurburgring, the GP circuit, so you should know it, you know.
Probably goes defensive into turn 1.
Jamie's probably looking the relative and saying, yeah, continue, boys, thank you.
Yeah, that's exactly what Jamie wants to see.
Yeah, I will see you in race 2. Very bad line from Mobley there. Big defensive. I don't know what happened to Gary, but he's now 4 seconds back on Tyler.
It is Alexander Roggenbuck and Alan Toon. Oh, Alex. That's second time I've seen that tonight. And then was Alan Toon. Oh, it's just an over rotation. Gets it going again.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of downfalls they're racing today, but it seems the rear is very loose.
Nothing for Gary on the event tracker, so he's obviously had some sort of issue because he's dropped 5 seconds to the group, but...
Well, he's losing time at the same rate, I would say.
Oh, okay. So it's just generally slower.
I think it's just on pace, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's been playing Dirt Rally a bit too much recently. Sideways doesn't work in iRacing, Gary. Well, not in these cars at least. And Wobbly would probably add, put your right foot on the right pedal. Or something along those lines.
Wobbly's motivational talks.
Evan Goebel just pops in the fastest lap with a 26.2.
Yeah, Stefan and Wobbly are closing on Jamie now that they are not battling anymore.
Wobbly's right on the bubble of getting some tow as well.
Yep, 5 tenths faster this lap for both of them.
Tyler's not getting any of that juicy tow, is he? There in 4th after serving that slow down. Alexander trying to chase back down to Alan Toon. I think Wobbly is most definitely in draft range now.
So I would go to this camera, which looks the same as the last camera, but then it's like 16 miles away from the track. When you go onto the start-finish straight, it does this. I assure you there's cars there.
Wobbly's pushing hard. Gets the lap record himself there with a bit of toe help from Jamie Wilson. Isla praying for a mistake somewhere in front of him.
Well, it will be one of the first. Well, it will be the first of the 4 fastest guys post-gun race if it stays like that.
Stefan not quite as close to Wobbly anymore either.
No, Wobbly getting the toe has meant he can stretch away for some reason.
Oh, Stefan is pushing. He was very wide there out of the last turn.
And that was weird. Sorry, I was watching the interval time, and Wobbly was catching Jamie, but he was dropping Stefan. But Stefan was closer to Wobbly than Wobbly to Jamie, so that was weird. Maybe Wobbly's running really, really low wing.
Well, we're halfway through race 1. Jamie Wilson currently leads, Wobbly Kneecap second, Stefan Goebel in third. I would be hugely surprised if that's the race order at the end. Probably consistently a couple of tenths quicker over Jamie Wilson every lap now that he's in the tow. It's not going to be long before he's on his gearbox. Stefan doesn't seem to be able to live with that pace, and that's giving Tyler Newitt hope of a podium finish. Tenths of a second the lead. Alex has now caught up Alan. What can he do to get past? He's tried this before and he went down the inside, and that's where it all went a bit wrong. So thinks better of it this time. Stays wide, gets the better line through turn 1. I think it's going to have to be the back straight for Alex, because his car doesn't like the tight exit at turn 1. But that wasn't a very good exit there. Right, now, this is your chance. Very close through this section. Run up to the chicane, not quite close enough. Still nothing happening in the lead battle. Wobbly has got it down to about 0.6 of a second, but no challenges yet.
Ooh.
Oh! Just pushing that little bit too hard. But we've got time to catch him up again. Back to the battle at the front. Anybody didn't hear that, Pete's gone for a wee. He'll be back in a sec.
I mean, how old is he? Like 250 or something?
I say, didn't he
Just
go
went like
about
30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
That's even worse than me in the morning on an endurance race.
I'm surprised Wobbly can't get any closer to Jamie at the moment. Tyler is, I believe, in tow range for Stefan as well, so the battle for the third step on the podium as it stands at the moment will be on shortly. I also think that Alex is back on the gearbox of Alan. As our cameraman has a very small bladder, we can't see it.
No, he's coming back. There he is. Probably shot his two into the desk.
Hey Pete, the Alex and Alan battle is back on. Ooh, slow down for Alan.
That could have actually damaged the car. You get underfloor damage in this car and it really does weird things to it.
This battle is game on again. Looked to me like Alan gave that one up.
Oof. Yeah, and then got a bit too much of that curb again. he'd be able to, you know, strike back straight away.
Oh, very sketchy under braking there from Alan.
So what was that about, Sam? Is that just brake bias after the tyres have gone off?
Hard to tell. I've never driven these cars, so I'm not quite sure. Maybe also the damage from the chicane or something. I don't know. Probably very best though, but not sure. Maybe a bit of downforce as well.
Yeah, or maybe even a bit of red mist on himself and out braking himself.
Easily done when you've just been overtaken, isn't it? Because you just want to get back to where you were.
Yeah. And especially if it's one of those corners that you've been doing perfectly well all night and then you make a mistake.
Yeah.
And you're like, I haven't done anything different. So battle for third, as predicted, is on. But Wobbly just can't get any closer to Jamie at the moment. I've seen it down to 0.6 of a second. It's now back out to almost 0.9.
And Jamie's taken back the... Oh no, he hasn't taken back the fastest lap. That's Tyler. Tyler currently has the best lap.
Tyler really pushed it there through the chicane. Had to check himself. The car was about to get a bit out of control. So Sam, is Wobbly possibly saving some tyre life for a push in the last couple of laps that we'll be coming up to shortly?
I don't think on a 30-minute race it's worth saving the tires that much. I think we saw in quali Jamie is quite fast. I don't think Wobbly is really saving tires. It's just the way it is. He's probably struggling just to catch Jamie. They've been faster than Stefan in the second part of the race, because we see now Stefan is with Tyler battling, and Tyler was over 2 seconds back. So no, I don't think he's saving tires. It's just the way it is.
Okay, well, we're inside the last 5 minutes.
Wobbly's kind of the bubble in the spirit level here, isn't he? Because he's the only one not to have moved forward or backwards since the start of the race in the top. Ooh!
Well,
One of the
paid to that.
So 2 things happened at exactly the same time. I'll do this one first.
What did Tyler do?
Oh, I just got a bit of lift, that's all.
Yeah, bit too much curb on the inside of the chicane.
Yeah, and at exactly this, well, half a second apart.
This is Alan.
Ooh,
Just
too much speed.
Yeah.
Not a disaster though, it's still going.
Well, I think that makes the third step on the podium safe for Stefan. Or maybe not. Who was... Something looked like they were very close to Stefan there. I just dreamt that.
What's that?
I see in the background Stefan and then somebody really close to him, but I was obviously looking at somebody else because there's nobody within a mile of him. So 2.5 minutes Going to be this lap and one more.
I can totally hear your vape then.
I'm on cherry bakewell.
Oh, right, very nice. So you both eat and smoke cake?
Yes.
Excellent. You could have died happy today if you were up here, because there was a pop-up shop in the village down the road, and they were selling these cookie dough cake things for 15 quid. They're amazing.
And you didn't buy me some and post them?
I've got 4. I've eaten 1, and later on I'm going to gorge on the other 3.
Now you know why we call him Chunky Bingham.
Yeah, I think Wobbly's just taken the fastest lap of the race last lap.
Yeah, he did. 25.7. But I think it's all in vain. This is the last lap. And I don't think he's got anything for Jamie Wilson. For Goebel, we know, barring any mistakes, safe in 3rd place. But Wobbly just hasn't got close enough to even worry Jamie.
I put the inset camera on just to see how smooth Jamie's lines are through here, and it looks effortless for him.
Into the chicane for the final time, into the final turn. And Jamie Wilson is going to bring it home for the race 1 victory, with Wobbly Kneecaps in 2nd and Stefan Goebel in 3rd. Just going to make sure that Alan's just had a moment.
No. That didn't come up on anything on my screens.
No, he didn't actually go off track or go more than, 90 degrees.
Right. Just a big wobble.
It was a big lock up and a pretty much stop still on track. But that's going to cement him pole position for race 2.
Yeah, it is. And you know what? He's not dropped any laps, and neither's Alexander.
No.
Would that exclude them from the reverse if they had dropped laps?
No.
No, okay.
The heat racing isn't that sophisticated yet. So 7 cars started, 7 cars finished. And we'll wait for the session to click over, and we will bring you your official results.
It's good, isn't it?
First was
the
Mr.
correct
Blank.
class, Pete.
Sorry?
It's not the correct class. TCR is not racing today.
Oh. How weird. Why is that in my...
The top overall one, I think, is the one you need to choose.
There
That's
we go.
better.
There we go.
Thank you, Sam.
Let me put my glasses on so I can see it. Winner was Jamie Wilson for Team Chimera. Second, Wobbly Kneecaps for BSTV Esports Pink. And third was Stefan Goebel for VTS Esports. Fourth was Tyler Newitt, BSTV Esports Pink. Gary Craig in fifth for BSTV Esports Green. Privateer Alexander Roggenbuck was sixth. And Sir Alan Toon was seventh for Workguard by result. So, guys, it looked like we was going to have a good four-way battle, but through mistakes, they ended up splitting off into pairs. Now, if I was Wobbly, and possibly even Tyler and Stefan, Sam, would you be worried by the pace of Jamie Wilson? Because it just, we see Wobbly chase him down from almost a couple of seconds back, get into the toe, but then just couldn't get any closer.
Well, I would not be worried if I am Jamie Wilson, but yeah, I guess he's beat great in these cars since the start. I think he said he's leading the championship, right? So it's no surprise he's on top for this race. No surprise at all.
What would make him, as quick as Wobbly when Jamie was out front with no toe, and Wobbly was definitely within toe range?
Yeah, that's the point. He's as fast as Wobbly with toe, which is a good thing because we know Wobbly is fast. Well, he tries to be. It's not always the case, and they've almost crashing every single race, but not today, apparently. But yeah, I don't know if anybody got an answer for Jamie tonight, and we'll see in race 2, but he's gonna start, if I'm not mistaken, the fifth, something like that. Oh well, he will start last, so 8. Am I correct?
Probably 7th.
Yeah,
because
but
Mike Frost won't be there.
Mike's spot will not be taken on the grid, so that makes it 7. But he will be on the 8th starting position on the grid.
So what about? Well, it looked like Stefan didn't have any answer to Wobbly, and we saw Tyler was quick, but laden with mistakes, shall we say? If Tyler has a mistake-free race, do you think he's got anything for Jamie Wilson?
I think it's probably the one to look for, because he took pole for the first race, and without any mistakes, probably would have been in touch with Jamie, maybe fighting for the lead. But we'll never know for race 1, we'll see in race 2.
And obviously he will be starting in front of the 3 that finished ahead of him. So
same as the first race.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. But unfortunately, that didn't work out in race 1. Wobbly on the chat saying the aero wash is really bad when you are within 0.6 to 1 seconds. So
trying to find excuses.
Yeah, I'm not having any of that at all. So, can Jamie Wilson claim 2 out of 2?
I think so. He's got the calm, poised attitude to make his way through a field, hasn't he? Even one that's got Tyler and Wobbly in it, and Gary for that matter. Gary's very good at placing his car in awkward positions so that people can't overtake. So, I think his progression through the field could be quite strategic, and he's got half an hour to do it. So, I think he's more than capable of getting a second win tonight. You're eating cake, aren't you?
No, I'm not. I'm eating a box of chocolates at the moment.
Makes sense.
And I've got a toffee one, which is making it really difficult to talk.
I was going to say.
I thought it was fudge.
Is it going to pull your fillings out?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing, mainly for people in the UK. I don't think there's many people with poor teeth anywhere else in the world. Just us.
Right. So, on another subject, gents, like I've still got this toffee in my mouth.
Can't tell though.
We had planned another 6 race meetings in this championship, but as we said, we're going to knock it on the head. I'm wondering, do we do some random racing open to all of the BSTV community and pick a different car for each of the next 6 race meetings and have a bit of fun?
I don't think there's any danger in that. It'd be like an extended race of champions, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know how people will necessarily get enthused by it. People like to be part of a league, don't they? And they like to contribute to their points haul and see themselves moving up and down the league. It's a real thrill for them. As long as they can still do that, and I'm sure we still will, then I don't see an issue with it. I think participation around this time of year is always rough, isn't it? Because people are on vacation and they've got family commitments during the summer. That in the winter there's nothing better to do than sit in a rig or sit behind a desk and race, because it's cold and horrible and rainy outside for most of the northern hemisphere, which is our time slot. So I don't know. I don't think it's a bad idea. I think it's a very good idea. It'd be good to get the community to feed back and see what they thought in terms of car track combinations, even track length combinations. But you're right. This one's, it could have been great, because we've seen how competitive these guys are in this car, and a bigger field was so much more exciting at Spa originally. That was one of the funniest races I've ever commentated on, and one of the most competitive. And it could have been an amazing league, and sadly I think there's other things going on at the same time, involving the same car at the same time as this, on the same day, which is sad, and that's developed since we started this, and I think we've just been caught out.
I'm busily scrolling through cars at the moment and having a look at what we could possibly do.
Yeah, Wobbly's doing some self-death at the minute.
We'll have a chat about that later.
Yeah, I think it's definitely got potential. I think the community would have to say what they were interested in at this moment in time. It might be worth us trying something like Rallycross. See what the uptake is on something like that, because that's hilarious even when you're doing officials. Or maybe, like you say, just make your way through a variation of cars and tracks and race types.
The only problem with asking a community is 100 people will give you
100 different things. Yeah, we've seen it before. I know. I know. Yeah.
Or maybe we don't do nothing and we just put our feet up.
Well, you look at our other leagues and you can say that we've got some other very healthy leagues on the go at the minute. V8 has had a massive resurgence. That's going to be brilliant for the rest of its season. GTCC, very well attended. Very big field. Wobbly's going for a jump. Is he going to make this one? Oh, that was quite good actually. Bit embarrassing the last bit, but there you go. Good recovery. And TCR GT4, I think it's gone a little quiet in that, but I think it'll come back next season. I think that iRacing needs to do something with the TCR car, or cars, I should say, and then it'll attract people back again.
Yeah, I've not just in our community. I've heard a lot of people have been put off by the balance of power this season.
Yeah.
Which is a shame. we know iRacing don't always get it right, but they don't usually get it that wrong.
And it's fairly broadly accepted that the balance of power in the TCR particularly is well off at the moment. It's almost the second season they ran with all these cars was, even though it wasn't perfect because the Audi was very, very underperforming, the other three cars were fairly competitive with one another. And then other things have happened since, and it really does mean that the Elantra sticks its head out as being the faster car, the more manoeuvrable car, better in a draft. Is Wobbly going again for a different jump, same jump but different result? Not as good that time, maybe. Yeah,
Absolutely rubbish.
Yeah, that's just, yeah. I mean, the first one
no way he's getting in the Commonwealth Games with that.
No. The first one was so much better, and look at what he's done to his front wing now as well. So yeah, it's I think it will come back, but they do need to do some work, and the whole community really is saying the same thing. When you go in officials, it's the Elantra League at the minute. And to be fair, it used to be the Audi League, didn't it? There was only one TCR for quite a long time. But when you've got other cars, and there's the option to choose another car, and you want to choose it, but you know, well, there's really no point, because people are just going to pass me without even trying. It puts you off. So, I mean, I think that's why it's quietened off in that particular car class at the moment.
And I think that's where they got it so right with the V8s, isn't it? You know.
Yeah, they're identical. In every way, they're identical.
Yeah, it looks different.
Yeah.
But it's identical.
Yeah.
You can swap setups between cars.
I mean, there's a good thing to the TCRs being different in their behaviours. You want to be able to have a car that you can sit in and say, this track's got lots of long straights, so the Elantra will be like head and shoulders the best cars. Wobbly goes for a third attempt here. He's not got that spin thing out of the way, but that one at least... Oh no, he's just embarrassed himself now.
That looked a bit like a replay of the first one.
It did, and now he's doing donuts. So yeah, you want to go to tracks and say, oh, this has got lots of big straights, this is going to be good for the Elantra, and then you want to say, this one's tight and twisty, and this will be good for the Honda. And then the next track, this has got lots of elevation change and a balance of both types of corners, so the Veloster will have the advantage. You want to be able to say that your car, on a proportion of the available tracks for the season, will balance out eventually, even if it's not on every track. Because that's the nature of cars, isn't it? You see it in BTCC, certain rear-wheel drive tracks, certain front-wheel drive tracks, certain tight and twisty tracks suit different cars. And that's what you want to see, but you don't want to see one car dominate a field of 4 on every track you go to.
Yeah, and you know, I wonder what the actual reason is for that happening. Is it
Sorry,
somebody
we've descended into ridiculousness in pit lane now.
Is it somebody has like properly got their calculations wrong, or have Hyundai got the largest brown envelope?
Yeah, maybe.
Said,
yeah.
We want the Elantra to be better this season.
Yeah. You don't know, do you? You really don't know.
Because if you was Audi, trying to think of the other cars, there's 2 Hyundais, an Audi, a Honda.
That's it.
What's the other one?
No, that's it. There's only 4.
Oh yeah, of course there is.
Yeah, hang on, we're
So if you
going again. Oh, I think we're going.
Oh, we are. Hang on, I've got to do my grid thing.
Put your cake down.
It's not cake.
Put your sweets down.
I just
Chocolates.
found the fudge one. Okay, so your starting grid for race 2. There is no Mike Frost. So Sir Alan Toon will sit on pole position for work guard by result. Alexander Roggenbuck, privateer, in second. Gary Craig, BSTV Sports Green, in third.
Tyler Newitt, 4th for BSTV Esports Pink. Stefan Goebel in 5th for VTS Esports. Wobbly Kneecaps, BSTV Esports Pink in 6th. And Jamie Wilson in 7th for Team Chimera.
Okay.
So, lights to flag victory for Sir Alan Toon. As we wait for the starter to get the light sequence underway. Who do I need to keep an eye on? I think I'm going to keep an eye on Jamie Wilson.
What do you reckon here, Sam? Is this Jamie from last to first before the first corner?
Maybe not from the first corner, but it might be before the end of the race.
I'm going to leave his inset camera on just so that we don't miss him making his way through the field, because I think he'll float to the surface quite quickly.
And just because you said that, he's gonna crash on turn 1.
I think you might be right, yeah. So Sam, you've raced in VR. Is that Jamie with his head tilted to one side so he can get round the post?
You're asking me?
Yeah.
Lights are coming on.
I've never raced in VR.
Oh, I thought you had.
Green flag. Green
Well,
flag.
I did with the...
We're green. Oh, what a start from Alexander.
Well, that was a rocket. Sorry, you were saying, son?
I'm just watching the start.
Yeah.
Oh,
wide.
Stefan on the inside. 8 wide.
Craig takes
wide.
the lead.
Oh, he's away as well.
So yeah, Alex said... Yeah, go ahead, Clyde.
I was
Talking
just
about
going to
the race.
say, Alexander did all the hard work on the start, but then was a bit tentative on turning, and that was what allowed Gary Craig to get down the inside. Jamie Wilson up to 5th.
Yeah, Tiger already second position, which is interesting because he's one of the 4 fastest guys that can win the race. So that's gonna be interesting to see how much gap he's got to Stefan, which is the second one in the queue.
Ooh. Alexander Roggenbuck's letting people through, I think.
Yeah, he's not
All 3
fighting
wide.
these fast guys, is he?
Oh,
Oh,
Whoa!
I thought that was going to be curtains for Jamie Wilson.
it's a shame the camera is not on Jamie or Wobbly. Wink, wink.
I've got Jamie's inset camera on.
I have not on my screen. Yeah, okay. Still couldn't see Wobbly, but you know,
No, true.
it's okay, it's okay. So yeah, I never raced VR. It's not really true, but kind of true, because I did try the Oculus Rift Development Kit 1.
Oh, okay.
So that's like 2022, yeah, 12 years ago or something. So it was rubbish, and I only did a few races on Assetto Corsa back in the days.
Oh, wow, right, okay.
And in the very early stages of Assetto Corsa, where no mods, nothing, you know, just the base stuff game with 3 tracks or something. So that was quite rubbish. So I don't really know.
And in this ultra-realistic sim, is the option to see through the halo still available?
It is, yes.
It is. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Well,
It is on every single sim.
yes.
When you've got an halo, you can see through.
It's because if you're on... Oh, hang on, this is going to be a bit tasty now.
I will admit it, I raced Formula 1. And
Oh!
Oh, Jamie
Oh!
Wilson's going to get a slow down. Just carried too much speed into the chicane. Had to bail.
Stefan's getting... Look at this, over the front here as well.
really interesting. So
Yeah.
Tiger is in first now.
Yep. I didn't actually notice that because both cars were the same colour.
Stefan wants past Gary because he doesn't want to see Tyler disappearing up the road.
Yep.
Jamie Wilson back 1 spot.
Stefan.
2 spots.
Yeah, Stefan. It's because of his slowdown. Oh no, maybe not. Hang on. No, maybe not. Oh, there's all sorts going on right now. That looked like wobbly spinning just then, but never mind. Let's have a look at this.
Yeah, it's probably because of his slowdown.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
He
Yes.
may have gone off track. Yeah,
So there was-
everybody's just gonna file past him there.
There's another replay.
And probably another one coming as well.
I think so.
Replay loop engaged.
Yeah, just constant. There's. Oh, that's that. So that's Jamie way out wide.
Yeah, something's wrong. Maybe he didn't serve the slowdown properly.
Yeah, and he just parked it off track, I think. Because now he's clearly back in it there. I want this one.
And then you will be able to show the pass, or the battle at least, between Gary and Stefan.
Yep.
This is the overtake on Gary by Tyler. Gary went wide.
Yeah, that's what that was.
Down.
Gonna have to go back to live footage.
Not these ones.
No. Oh, he's just done it. I'm gonna have to do it on a replay. Sorry, I was milliseconds away.
I know it feels.
It's a horrible feeling.
You're still missing action. Will
Yeah.
we just passed Gary as well off
Oh,
camera?
never. Stefan around the outside.
That's
Pretty
a
much. That's
move.
pretty
It's a great
good.
move,
That.
is.
Yeah, spot on. Oh
Yeah.
God, there's all sorts going on.
The German supremacy.
Yeah.
Tyler again.
Oh,
Stefan,
missed that.
What's going on?
Everything is going on right now. I can't keep up with the clicking my mouse fast enough. What happened here?
Oh,
I can hear.
are you tired?
Oh, Christ, that's what happened.
Somebody round. Who's
That's
that?
Tyler.
Round.
That is.
What on earth is going on? Has somebody put a banana skin on the track?
I
Is
don't
this
know, but there's
Mario
more
Kart?
red in SGK than green.
Oh, hang on.
Tyler just went round all on his lonesome.
He did.
Back live, finally.
Yep, for this.
Oh, I don't think you can wave that much on the straight line, but yeah.
They'll be in the same chat though, won't they?
Yeah, they're probably
Oh dear.
having fun.
Is he going to go around the outside?
Ah, come on, Gary, wider.
Yeah, push him out.
Yeah.
He's doing it as well.
He's gonna punt you off anyway, so just do it first.
Oh god.
Yeah. Get your revenge first.
Just couldn't manage it.
We can let
Stefan
Wobbly win.
massively
Come
wide
on.
in the background. There are other things to watch, by the way, on replay. There's loads of them. I don't know how I'm going to cover it all. I've left Jamie's inset camera on the whole time.
So why is Tyler going through the pits?
Eh?
Because Tyler went to the pits.
Yeah, did he get some damage from Stefan? It'd be good to see that incident, Pete, from Stefan's onboard.
Good luck. Click nose, click nose, click nose, click nose. Click nose.
No.
All that.
Yeah, that'll do. Or that. Ooh. Why did I click it right at the wrong point? I'm gonna have to do that again. Sorry, guys.
Okay, so you need another crash course with
Yeah, I
the
do.
cameras. Nose, click nose,
Oh,
click nose, click nose. Jeez.
Ooh, no, you missed him.
He missed him, but let's see. Tyler's ping is at 200, so I think he might have clipped him.
Yeah, I think Tyler may have got some solid air damage from that.
Yeah. Gearbox.
Oh, that was the hit.
Oh, yeah.
You hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely got clipped by at least one car. And his steering is weird.
Well, we can't see anything on that camera angle, but
No. Right, let's go back live because there's still stuff going on here. What a crazy race! This is why we set up this league in the first place, because of just the uber competitiveness of everything that's going on. So there, those two are away.
In the fastest lap, chasing down Stefan Gogol.
Oh, tires out.
Oh, what? What?
I think that was I'm too far back, I quit.
Oh no, there's another one.
Really?
Sorry, I then had to scroll down through about 300 different... I was going to say something else then, but I won't. This is down as a crash, and that's just him retiring.
Yeah, I think that's more my explanation.
Right.
Do they have fast repairs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so probably too far back. I mean, it was almost half a lap back on everybody, so...
Yeah, maybe.
You know, there's not a lot of people to race with, and if you're on your own, it's just... I don't think there's any points. Keep going. Apart from the fun, but... Yeah.
Apart from the fact that it is quite possible that everybody else could take everybody else out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. And Wobbly's in first, so it will probably be a roadblock at some point.
Yeah. Well, Gary's catching him pretty quick.
Come on, Gary, there's money on the table. If you take him out, Pete's paying.
I'm going to the Edinburgh Fringe with Gary next week after this one coming. So he'll claim his 10 quid there, I'm sure, if he wipes out Wobbly.
And Pete said to me before the broadcast that he will double the amount just for today.
Yeah.
As long as Wobbly's car is a write-off.
Yeah.
Well, the first 10 minutes flew by.
Yeah, and Pete doesn't know which battle to focus on because they're equidistantly separated at the moment.
Try the blip.
Try the blimp. Can you imagine on this track? Let's have a look.
Yeah,
16 miles away from the track.
Yeah, but you've got the two battles free.
Is the blimp in France? Oh, that's good. You can't see anything.
Yeah. Well, yeah, on my 27-inch monitor I can see, but yeah. It's probably not the best. Yeah, and iRacing still hasn't done anything about the terrain in the background. It still looks like a game from the 90s.
Or even the 80s. Well,
there's a bit more pixel than in the 80s.
Yeah, true.
Come on. We're not on a Sega Mega Drive, please.
This might be Jamie's opportunity. Well, maybe not. He's a little bit far off, isn't he?
Don't know. I don't look.
It was just a look, wasn't it?
And the issue is, it's the rig master in front of him, so...
Yeah. Stefan knows his way around here, eyes closed and half asleep, I think. I don't know what Gary's been drinking in between races, but he didn't show in the first race really, and this one he's all over him.
Drinking, he needs more.
Well, the thing is, he's been in the tow since the start. In the first race, he lost the tow right away, and that's the difference. He's maybe a bit slower than Wobbly, but with the tow, he managed to keep up in the straights, and there's like basically 2 straights and 3 corners in this track, so... You know, it's not getting everything away from Gary or anything. it's still something to keep up with the draft, but the draft helps a lot. And he's probably chasing 20 quids, so...
Well, there is that, yeah. I'm actually surprised, and I don't know whether I should be or not, that Jamie's not put a stronger move on Stefan yet. But like you say, though, like Sam was saying, he's the ring master, isn't he? He knows Nurburgring so well.
Knows where to put his car. Although he is following Stefan a lot closer than Wobbly was following Jamie in race 1.
Mm.
This is as close as he gets at the moment down the start-finish straight. Wobbly eking a little bit more of a gap over Gary.
Do you think that Jamie's thinking, if I do overtake Stefan, it's just going to slow us both down, whereas we're actually very slowly catching up onto the back of the group, the pair in front?
That could most definitely be the reason. We know Jamie is a thinker within the car. He was doing a bit too much thinking then because he was a little bit ragged through that section. But they are definitely catching Gary, aren't they?
I think they are. It was over 2 seconds before and it's just under now, so... Jamie's got the fastest lap of the race last time round. Looks like Gary's sizing up Wobbly now.
Yeah, Stefan and Jamie need Gary to at least get side by side with Wobbly through a couple of corners. That'll close that gap right
Whoa!
up.
Oh, mistake from Wobbly. There he goes.
And that is just what they wanted.
Yeah, nearly 4 for the lead here now. Oh, it is 4 for the lead now.
Yeah, they're in the draft. Well, there's equal distance from Wobbly than Wobbly is from, well, even closer to Wobbly than he is from Gary.
Ooh.
Oh, Stefan.
We'll see a few mistakes creep in now.
Yeah, that's no good. Well, it's very good for Jamie, but that's no good for Stefan.
He wasn't the ringmaster then.
Yeah. Gary, next lap, if you cut the track, I will remove your black flag. Just to see if you will do, because I will not remove the black flag. Okay. That would be quite funny, though.
It would be hilarious.
To see him cut, not me removing the black flag.
I think Stefan's got plenty of speed here. I think he can pull back onto this group properly.
I think Gary's pulling a little bit of a gap over wobbly.
I don't know what the difference is. I don't know whether he was carrying damage the whole of the last race. Oh, who's that? Is that Alan?
Alan.
Yeah.
You missed the target, Alan.
Yeah. Could have taken him out, failed. This track's another one of those where on SDK, any slight tyre off comes up as somebody went off track or they crashed. I would choose a more, delectable choice of cameras, but the iRacing ones are either this, so 2 zoomed in, this, 16 miles away, or the one we were on. those are the only options. Yeah, camera one's okay, yeah. It's not as bad as camera 3, which requires you to also don some binoculars in order to watch the race.
They've done such a great job with the new tracks on the cameras.
Yeah.
They're looking great, but on the old ones, I don't know who did them, but probably the grandson of someone working in iRacing. Because they're so rubbish.
Yeah.
Amazing. And to be fair, it takes hours to get some kind of okay camera on a track like this. So I know it's a lot of work, because I tried to do it. That's why I'm not doing it anymore, because
No.
you can spend a day on a camera back,
But iRacing
and it's not even perfect.
Yeah, but they only need to do it once, don't they? One decent set of cameras. For iRacing, I mean.
Yeah,
Not
it would
for
be
you.
great if they could, go back to all the old tracks and put a new version of the camera back on. That would be great, because the one they are doing now are good quality, I think. And they can be used as is, which with the old ones, it's not really the case.
And you're getting a lot closer to wobbly now.
Ooh, Stefan's just got fastest lap.
Yeah, I suppose Stefan is getting a triple toe, isn't he?
What, does it work like that? Do you benefit from the more cars that you're getting towed by?
Well, in theory, you should do.
Oh. Getting a lot of oversteer, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought it was going around.
Yeah, me too.
Right, under 9 minutes to go. Pick your winner.
I know, yeah.
Last lap, wobbly lunge takes out Gary. Jamie piles into the back with Stefan, and
Alan wins. Oh, wow.
That would be
Oh,
quite
Jamie.
something.
Sorry, Stefan, what are you doing?
Too much curb.
Yeah.
Wobbly is on the inside. Oh, no, one's in the end. That was Gary, sorry. A bit outstyle with the 2 liveries.
Oh, here we go. It's on.
Oh, now he's on the inside. A bit further right, Gary. A bit further right. Come on.
Hold him on.
He's got to squeeze him.
And look, Jamie's looking, but yeah.
Jamie's going to get 2 here. He's going to get 2 here.
Oh,
Stefan!
round.
Oh.
And Jamie's in the lead.
Jamie's just taken 2 positions in one corner. It's a shame we can't hear him laughing. I mean, his camera, hear his microphone.
I'm sure he's waving his hands to Wobbly. Bye.
Yeah.
This isn't over.
Not yet. I was going to go and look at how Stefan managed to spin. I think we already know, but... Gary's gone from 1st to 3rd in that same corner.
Feels like race 1 again.
Yeah, it does.
Seven minutes.
Wobbly's trying to find a different track, I think. Oh, that's
that was wide.
a ridiculous bit of wideness. Do you get a slowdown for doing that?
I don't think so.
No, not there.
And you can gain a lot of time if
I
you
was
do
going to
it
say,
right.
yeah. Some tracks on the outside you do get a slowdown.
There is a drive of shame coming up for Sir Alan.
Oh. Well, let's have a look at this just while they're doing that. So this is Stefan's spin. I'm intrigued as to what he meant. Oh, too heavy on the...
A lot of speed in, but he seemed to get it off, didn't he?
Yeah, that's an odd one for me. And then this happened in this, 1 minute later than that did.
The first time we've seen this.
No, not too bad, that one. And then we'll go back live.
So these two are dropping Gary Craig a bit now. 5 minutes to go. Wobbly had nothing for Jamie in race 1. Can he make amends in race 2?
The difference between race 1 and race 2 is they had a 30-minute practice session before being race 1. I think I lost it. You, the guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just saying race 1 was a good practice.
Yeah, true. Means you can get your eye in a race situation.
Well, and as we said at the start, this is pretty much arrive and drive racing. So a 30-minute race will grant you the, well, will remove the benefits of having practice before the race. Which I don't know if Jamie did, but looks like it's what we're seeing right now. You know, Wobbly with the 30-minute practice beforehand. Race 1 is now able to get closer to Jamie than he was able in race 1.
Yeah, definitely. He's got his... he knows where he can push now properly. And in practice, you're not always under the rear wing of another car, are you? Whereas in race 1 he was, and he then mentioned that the aero push was horrible. So maybe he's figured out how he counters that by the time he gets to the second race, and now he's much more competitive.
That maybe adjusted a bit the setup from race 1. We'll see in the interviews what he said. But he's going for a move now on the inside at the chicane.
Staying in it.
Very late on the brake. Had to get out of it there.
That was good.
Wobbly did set that
Oh,
up for
Gary.
3 corners back. Gary's gone round in the background. Stefan's like, hello, I might get a podium.
Yeah.
One more lap after this one. There goes Stefan on Gary. Right, what has Jamie got for Wobbly in a lap and a half?
It's funny how SDK is throwing 2 fastest lap for Jamie and Stefan, but Stefan is apparently 1,000 slower than Jamie.
Yeah.
So there's something
I don't know what's going on
not
with
quite
that.
right.
That's weird.
gonna try have a look and see what it says on iRacing. So Jamie is
I think it's because at 2 decimal places they're the same.
one, yeah, 170. No, I can't. Okay.
Okay, about to start the final lap. I think Wobbly may have this one in the bag.
I don't know, he's looped it a couple of times.
How badly does Jamie Wilson want 20 quid?
Well, he's a bit too far back for now to claim he is 20 quid.
Nope, not if you forget to brake.
I am wobbly off track, but I think he's gone wide again.
Yeah, I think he went super wide again. Oh. Odd.
That's the drive of shame that ended up with a long pit stop, I think.
Okay.
It's pretty much now or never for Jamie Wilson. I think he's too far behind.
And Wobbly's just done the fastest lap of the race last time.
Brake failure into the chicane.
Ooh.
One more turn. And Wobbly Kneecaps is going to take a victory in race 2 over Jamie Wilson.
2 minutes to go. 2 minutes.
Yeah, rubbish race. Wobbly's one was a rubbish race.
Yeah.
Nothing else to say.
I'm
Get the
sure-
boat crashed. We're done. See you next time.
I'm sure we can find some way of disqualifying him.
Yeah, I think he went too far wide in that
Turn
arena
2,
thingy. Yeah, so I would give him, let's say, how far back is Alexander? Yeah, I mean, it's penalty.
Yeah, that works
Oh,
for
He's a
me
bit
as
too
well.
far back. Sorry, Alan.
I think Gary Craig may have sneaked a podium there because
Oh.
I believe Stefan Goebel hit the magic incident limit, so he's
Well, we'll find out.
probably going to get a time penalty.
Ooh. When did he hit the penalty?
I
Was
don't know. I didn't see. I just
it
clicked
before?
near the end.
After?
Well, it doesn't matter because they all count, don't they, until the last car has crossed the line.
They do, but yeah, well, the result would be the same, but how frustrating would it be if it was because you went wide or something in this cooldown lap? That would be a shame. I guess he will tell us, at least on
There
Discord.
you go. So, your race winner for round 10 is Wobbly Kneecaps for BSTV Esports Pink. Jamie Wilson came home second, Team Chimera. Gary Craig promoted to third step on the podium for BSTV Esports Green. And Stefan Goebel relegated to fourth for VTS Esports. Alexander Roggenbuck come home fifth, Sir Alan Toon in sixth, and Tyler Newitt in seventh. So, guys, what did you think of race 2? I think that was a bit more exciting.
Well, both races has been exciting, but that's for race 2 was even better with all the small bits of incidents that happened. That was great. It's just a shame Wobbly won because that just threw away a wonderful race, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with Sam about the wobbly thing. And yeah, the second race, far more exciting. The reverse grid did what it was supposed to for us. It's a shame there's not more people turning up for this series. I know there's other stuff going on with this car at this time slot, but it would have been so much even more exciting with more cars.
Yeah,
I agree.
Definitely.
Completely agree.
Okay, Pete, I'm gonna let you lead the interviews because I'm gonna try and get the results uploaded quickly.
No worries. We've got Sir Alan in the interview room. Good evening, Sir Alan.
He's gone.
Oh, has he gone already? That was
What a
like seconds
professional.
ago. That was seconds. Oh dear. Right.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, let's move to a Mr. Wilson, who has got a race victory, a second place, and a championship victory under his belt tonight. So, good evening, Jamie.
Hello, hello. Yeah, that's. I can't print that off being audio, but I would frame it if I could. Yeah.
Yeah. So you probably heard that we're gonna scratch this one after this race, mainly for the fact that the attendance has been less than desirable for a few races now. But it didn't stop your domination of the race tonight. You got on really well with the track, and we saw some really good wheel-to-wheel battles with you, with Wobbly, with Stefan and yourself, and Tyler when Tyler was in it. I'm not sure what happened to Tyler in the second race. Maybe you can fill us in, to be honest.
I think he had a spin or something.
Right.
I was in complete full concentration mode the whole time. So even though I was actually in the room with them, I jumped in for this one. But yeah, I was just absolutely 110% the whole time for both of those. I'm knackered. Yeah, it's a shame it's coming to an end. We always said it was going to be a slow burner and hoped it was going to pick up, but that's sadly not the case. Which is a shame. That's disproportionate for how good the racing has been in this. Remember back to that Spa race is like legendary, isn't it? So
Yeah. You can't fault that race in any way, shape, or form.
it was amazing, yeah. But all the others have been like that, just with with a smaller group of people. Interlagos was brilliant as well. And yeah, I mean today was a bit less, side by side constantly type stuff, but it was still, absolutely driving on the ragged edge to like keep Wobbly behind and catch him back up and all this, that, and the other. It's just as mentally taxing to do that than it is to be side by side with Tyler for half an hour.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, as I say, it's a shame it's coming to an end, but at the same time, there's an opportunity there to think outside the box in terms of what replaces it.
Yeah, we had a quick discussion in the broadcast to understand what we might do next, and the client's got some ideas, and I'm sure other people have some as well, what we can fill this time slot with. But we'll see how it goes. It sounds like you've thoroughly enjoyed your F4 racing across the course of these 10 races at least. Yeah, it'd have been nice to carry it forward, but I don't think that's the case for this one. We need something which has got a bit more participation in order to drive some more interest from the community. But yeah, I'm sure we'll find something else for you to get stuck into, I'm sure.
Yeah, maybe even a sort of rotator mabob kind of situation where it sort of alternates between different things or whatever. You could throw in something like Rallycross or something as a one-off, so that Gary Craig can put his recent rally experience to use, perhaps. Instead of complaining that he's been away for so long.
Yeah. Complaining that he's chosen to do something else.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I know you guys were talking about doing instead of this was IndyCar originally as well, which, another thing. So maybe that's an idea, just mush a load of stuff together. But yeah, no, it's been really good. I'm not saying that because obviously I've managed to come out on top of it. I could have been fighting for 10th in the championship if the racing was like that. It wouldn't matter. So yeah, whatever comes next. Sadly, it's not this, but whatever it is, looking forward to it.
Well, anybody you'd like to have a shout out to before we let you go and celebrate your championship victory?
Yep. Thanks to yourselves for putting it on and for everything that you do in general. Thanks to those that did stick it out with me. So Tyler, Wobbly, Gary, there's a few others as well that sort of stuck through it. Stefan, and they're all really, really good people to race and you can trust them. You know, it's just been even with a small field, I was always looking forward to doing these races whenever they were sort of on the horizon. So, and yeah, that's about it, really, I suppose.
Okay. Well, we'll see you in whichever leagues we're running, because you're a stalwart of the BSTV community. Le Mans tomorrow, that's right. GTCC to look forward to tomorrow. I'll be on that. I think Wobbly's joining me in the booth. And if Sam's internet connection sticks, maybe he'll join us as well. But for tonight and for the Alt F4 series, thank you very much for a very entertaining time, Jamie Wilson.
You're welcome. Cheers, guys.
So, Sam, for yourself, you get to hopefully torture Wobbly for not winning the first race. And winning the second. So over to you, and it's Wobbly Kneecaps.
Hello, Wobbly. Anybody would like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Well, to Jamie, to myself, to Pete, because I'm gonna kill him in Hell Let Loose. I'm gonna kill you in Hell Let Loose.
Is that all?
Yes. No,
okay, well, thank you. And thanks for coming, Wobbly. And we'll see you tomorrow for the broadcast.
He's literally gone. That's hilarious. So that was Wobbly Kneecaps, folks. And then finally tonight, that was so funny. That was class.
All right. Well, no,
he's back.
I dragged him back.
Oh, you dragged him back.
Yeah, I dragged him back.
Sir Alan's in, so just wait a sec, Sir Alan, because we're busy tearing Wobbly to pieces at the minute, but you're in as well.
I didn't put myself in here. I was over there.
I did that. Don't worry, mate. So carry on torturing Wobbly for a minute, Sam.
Wobbly, what happened in race one?
Sorry, that's the only button that Pete has pressed tonight that he meant to.
Yeah, it's true as well.
What happened in race one? I can't remember. I became second, and I was.
Yeah, that's my question. What happened for you to be on second and have nothing for Jamie? Why is that?
I was in the worst part of the arrow wash, and the car slided around. I just couldn't push through it, and Jamie had a really good pace as well. I think I was a little bit faster, but I just could not close the gap.
All right, and that dive in race 2, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, great.
I bet you do. I bet you do.
I mean, Jamie was in our Discord, so basically, I didn't. We weren't really speaking. We were just driving, and we came along, and he knew I was there, and there was like two options, and I know that Jamie just was on the outside. I had to back out a little bit if I would do it like this. We did touch like slightly, but I think that to be fair, it was a great move. It was the only spot where I could do it.
That's true. That's about how we called before the first race. That would be a great spot and a good opportunity to pass someone. So you proved it correct, which is good. Congratulations. Another thing, why are you going so wide after turn 2?
Like every lap, or the one where I purposefully just let down the throttle? I didn't want to lift on the throttle. You mean that one?
At least the last lap. We saw an off track there, which, you know.
Oh yeah, the last lap was just abusing the off tracks I had left.
Okay, so that's exactly what it was. We called it.
And the one where I was super wide was because I had a wiggle going into the corner, and then I didn't want to lift. And I didn't even know if there was like a slowdown. I just gambled that there wasn't. Oh, it saved me and just kept me in the draft. So
yeah, that was scooting for the last lap then. Okay. Good point. Well, that will cost you your first place then, because we discussed that just before the end of race 2, and you will get 2 minutes time penalty. No, no seriousness.
iRacing rules, mate.
Yeah, well, you know, I think the most important is you all guys put up a great show today, and you all had fun, I'm sure, and that's what matters. So if you're all okay with that, we will.
No, it was a really good race, and it was really fun to drive as close together. Gary found some pace in the second race as well, and I think it was just overall it was really a really good heat. And to be unlucky that the league is stopping just due to lack of signups, but I definitely think that like in the near future we should try it again. with these cars.
And we'll see. It's probably something to keep in mind for the future. All right. Well, any other shoutouts you want to give before we let you go?
I'm gonna team QP on Hell Let Loose.
You will get punishment for that.
Where am I going to flush him to? I'll flush him to here. Right, he's gone. He's back.
And just know his name, Jamie Wilson, on the broadcast.
It's flush-proof.
Yeah, I just left Jamie on because I didn't want to have Wobbly have his name on the screen. So, good evening, Sir Alan.
Hello, dear.
Hello. So you had what I consider a really good race in race one. Given the competition, given the fact that you're on a new wheel, aren't you?
Yes, I was on my new wheel. Yes, very exciting.
Yeah.
Very exciting. Yeah. No, I did really well in the first one. I'm afraid the second one was a bit of a disaster, but my concentration was lacking by then.
Well, we'll focus on the first one because you had a bit of a to and fro-in with Alexander Roggenbuch.
I did.
You finished on lead lap, which is,
yes.
I mean, for the likes of you and me, that's a result.
Yeah, I was really delighted about that, Pete. Honestly, I did tell him in chat, you know, like it's not so long ago that I used to get lapped every time with this lot, every time, you know.
Yeah, you know, it steps forward.
It's a thrill for me not to get, and it's exciting to actually have a gap behind and be able to make it slow that they're catching me up, you know, that overhauling. It's exciting being chased. It's exciting as chasing somebody.
Yeah,
you know, so
and you
trying to keep a gap is really good.
Yeah,
will chase you.
If that doesn't scare you away, I don't know what won't. The behaviour of your car looked like you were comfortable and in control of it tonight. You were hitting some good apexes. We're seeing some on the screen at the moment. And you managed to keep, like I say, with Alex, and not too far off the main pack, really. It seemed like a really good race for you, a good race track, race car combination.
Yes. Well, I like the car, and it did feel good with my direct drive wheel. I've got to say, it has made a difference to all the vehicles that I'm driving. It's a lot more direct, and it feels very sharp, you know. There's no fuzziness in the feedback. It's really good.
No, sorry.
I was doing 29s, quite a lot of 29s in the first race, and that was kind of about 2.5 seconds off the pace, which is pretty good for me. And I was a second off Alexander, but he kept dropping it and dropping back, and then because he had that second, he could overhaul me again. And I was really working hard to get in front. I knew that if he could keep it on the track, he would get in front of me in the end, and he did in the last couple of laps. Good credit to him, you know. He drove really well. He kept coming back and kept digging in, and he got me in the end. I knew he would with his second. But, oh yeah, no, it was very enjoyable race. I've got to say, the time flew.
It did for us as well. Clyde commented that the first 10 minutes of the second race had whipped past in what felt like one. And yeah, just very entertaining racing. We're not going to continue with this league due to the lack of sign-ups, sadly, or rather lack of attendance. But it was great having you race with us again, and we'll hopefully see you in more of our leagues, Alan. Yeah,
well, you know, I like to drive with you. I'm out of my class with these guys, really. But I enjoy the company, and that's as important to me as the racing, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more on that one. It's about community, and it's about being there for one another and racing with each other. So,
that's right.
So, any shout-outs you want to make before we let you go?
You can give a shout-out to everybody who drove tonight. It was a blast being in the Discord. It was great to see Gary. I haven't seen Gary for a while. Nice to be out with Tyler again, and it was very nice, lovely congenial atmosphere, and I had a very nice time. Thank you.
Awesome stuff.
Well done to you lot, because there was 4 of us in here, so we were trying to outnumber the drivers, and I think we came pretty close.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh dear. Well, and like I say, hopefully we'll see you racing again very soon with us. Sir Alan too.
Yes, thank you very much, and I will indeed see you soon.
Right.
Right, guys. So that was the Hexeal Alt+F4 Championship. Just to round up the league. So Jamie Wilson took away the top spot in the standings with Gary Craig second and Wobbly Kneecaps in third. BSTV Esports Green took away the team championship with Pink in second and Team Chimera in third. Now, our votes count still for driver of the meeting. So let's go to, who should we pick on first? Let's pick on Pete first, because we know how much he likes clicking buttons.
Oh yeah, do it.
With this decision, he doesn't have to click a button. So, who was your driver of the evening tonight, Pete?
There's a couple here for me. There's probably Jamie Wilson for consistency and making his way through the field in the second one so cleanly. He didn't get the win though. Wobbly got the win. So those two are kind of points balanced in my head. And then there's Sir Alan, who managed to do the first race without dropping a lap, which is a big step forward for him. That's what stands out for me. Where am I going to... I can't possibly give Wobbly a vote. That would probably let some bile and some sick come up. I voted for Jamie the last time round, so I'm going to vote for Sir Alan on the basis that in race 1 he didn't drop a lap. It was probably the most controlled I've seen him. Yes, race 2 happened and it wasn't nearly as good, but we take our victories where we can find them. So my vote for tonight goes to Sir Alan.
Excellent. And hopefully Sam will be voting exactly the same.
I am tempted. I think Jimmy already had a lot of votes from me in the recent past. He deserves another one. Wobbly not, because it's Wobbly, and I don't care if he kill me in a let loose. So no chance I give it to Wobbly. So yeah, I will agree. Let's go for Alan. He did a great race 1. Even to race 2 wasn't the greatest, but yeah, it's great to see Alan that good on a racetrack, and I'm sure he will still improve with the new wheel.
Excellent. And very similar to Pete, I think bits that stood out for me, 2 good results from Jamie, 2 good results from Wobbly. I was impressed with Gary Craig in race 2. Stefan had some pace, but just couldn't hold it all together. So I'm going to vote for Sir Alan. So that's 3 votes for Sir Alan, and I've just made up a new rule that if you get 3 votes in the same night that happens to fall on the 6th of August, you get an extra vote for getting 3 votes.
Awesome.
So that's 4 votes for Alan, which means Alan wins driver of the season. Hey! How about that? Not fiddled at all.
Not even
right,
slightly.
Guys. So yes, that was the whole the Halt F4 Championship. It has halted, and it was the F4 Championship. So coming up on BSTV in the next 7 days. Tomorrow, sadly, I am missing. I'm away at a lesbian wedding, obviously because I'm a lesbian. It's back to GT3 action with the BSTV GTCC from Le Mans, 90-minute race around the 24-hour circuit. First 2 rounds have been absolutely fantastic. This one will be equal to those. Then we are back on Wednesday, and we're back in GT4 TCR action from the Brands Hatch GP circuit. We know how good racing those guys put on in that league. And then V8 is back next Saturday, rounds 3 and 4 from Suzuka. It's a 30-car plus grid. It could be a 40-car plus grid. It could be mayhem. It could be fantastic. Rounds 1 and 2 were great.
rounds 3 and 4 are going to be even better. So make sure you don't miss that. And if you don't want to miss it, you know what to do. Drop this video a like, make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, and also follow us on Facebook. That way you will never miss any of our action. Big thanks to all the drivers that have put in the effort for this half season that we've done in this car. The racing has been absolutely fantastic. We have thoroughly enjoyed it. Big thanks to Pete for jumping on the cameras tonight. Yes, and we know he didn't do a very good job, but he'll get better. Tune in about 12 years' time. And big thanks to Sam. His internet was good enough for voice comms, so he jumped in and joined us in the booth, where he could have sat in his armchair with his feet up. So that's it from us for tonight. Let's say, make sure you tune in tomorrow. I shall be tuning in from a hotel room somewhere, providing the internet is any good. I shall say goodnight, let the guys say goodnight, and then we'll close the broadcast. So thanks for watching, stay safe, and good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. See you tomorrow with Clyde, finally. That's going to be great. And thanks for joining today, Clyde. Really appreciate it.
But if I've got internet, I will be giving you grief on the chat.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We'll ignore you anyway.
I was just going to say, we don't have to read it out. Yeah, thanks everybody for joining us for this Alt F4 series. Shame it couldn't go further. We'll see you tomorrow for sure, where we'll have a much more professional broadcast for you. Thank you.